Hello, guys. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending on when you are watching this video. How are you doing? How is your day going? Hope you are fine. How are you coping with the weather? How are you coping with how are you coping with life? Trust that God is helping all of us. I'm good, I'm fine. My day has been awesome. And so here I am today. Thank you to all the new subscribers. Thank you to all those who shared my link, who invited people to subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much. I see the genuine effort. God bless you so much. I am so grateful. I'm super grateful. Thank you. So today I want to I wanted to share something with you. Or rather, I will want you also to share yours, probably in this comment section. What is that one experience you had as a child growing up? What is that experience you had as a child growing up and that you will never, whatsoever be the reason, you will never forget it in a haste, or whenever you remember it, you have this goosebump, you are so scared, you are so hysterical, you are just so you just lost control of your emotions and all that. You just get emotional. So what is that story? What is that? I think we all get to have that experience that we had as a child, that whenever we remember it, we can just maybe, whether happy one, whether ugly one, whether a beautiful story, an ugly one, but there is that one event that happened to us as a child growing up that we will never forget. It could be love, it could be hatred, it could be anything you can think and imagine of, but it struck you as a child and you are the only person that understood it and can it is only you that know how you felt about it. So I'm going to share mine, and mine is how I escaped being kidnapped as a child. I escaped being kidnapped. So this thing happens when I was in primary six, and after school we are going home. Normally the school management, our headmaster always advise us to go in group. Don't go home alone. Make sure you are in group of people. You people walk home in a group. The reason being that so that if anything bad want to happen, you all can raise alarm and draw people's attention. It is better you go home in group than going home alone. Anything can happen to you and nobody will account for that. And besides, there is this trend then that anytime Christmas is fast approaching, kidnapping will be on the increase and all that. So both parents, both teachers put hands together to ensure that students actually get home safely by putting measures in place, right? So this is one of the measures and it works. So people go home together. So when we were going home that day, it happened that I was very sick. I was between, let's say, I was less than 10 years as of then or so. So it happened that I was very sick, very sick. I was having running this fever in the afternoon. You know, this kind of fever that will be that you have and your teeth will be clinging together. You know, you'll be having goosebumps, your temperature will be so high, your body will be shaking, like vibrating, you can feel it. You can't even say a word, you can't utter a word. If somebody put a pot on your head, that pot can, like, the heat coming out from your body can cook food, can cook a pot of rice or something. So that was what I was feeling, and I just followed my group and we are going home. And the normal routine is that while we are going, when you get to the junction that leads to your house, you just wave by and you go. Just we keep going that way till you get to the final person, which happens to be me. So the girl before me was like, she's the way I'm sick, she's not gonna let me go like that. Let her walk me down a little. And then she did walk me down a little and was like, I hope you can find your way from here. I hope you can go home from here. And I was like, yes, thank you very much. I didn't even walk up to like 2 minutes. I just saw a log of wood along the road. I decided to sit down on the log of wood. I I crossed my leg, like I sat on it, placed my arm on my knee, and then I faced down, placing my forehead on my cross hands, like I was just looking for a coverage, somewhere to cover myself and all that. So I was just seated there, and it was a lonely road, a very lonely environment, very lonely. No, there are houses there, but you know this kind of atmosphere that you have when you see see birds shipping, everywhere is so quiet. You can hear the footstep of people walking in a broad daylight in the afternoon with the under the hot sun, something like that. So I decided to sit on that log of wood and to stay under the sun. That was what my body was feeling like at the moment. And all of a sudden, a car just zoomed off and passed me. But then the car didn't go further. It started coming back, and then it stopped. And then somehow something tapped me. I feel like it was God. I felt a weird atmosphere, and I feel like something tapped me and said, run. I stood up out of the blue. The fever vanished. I ran. Like, I don't know how. The fever did not vanish, but the fear that gripped me was more than that fever I was feeling at that moment. And so I ran. I took off. And then this Camry car was right there, wide open with two guys in it. One of them jumped out and came after me. I was running, I was running, I was running, I was running. Somehow something told me to scream, mommy, 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 to start calling my mom. And I did just that. I was calling my mom, not like that place is my environment or that place is my house, but maybe by shouting, mommy, 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 it will scare the man away. The guy running after me, you scare him away. You make him feel like, okay, maybe this is my house and people are around. It might probably scare him away. So, and I did that and it actually worked. But before then, I was running to a direction where I saw a house. The house was more like a mud house. You know all these kind of Nollywood houses that you see, and then the houses has white drawings on the mud house and all that. It was looking more like a maybe a shrine or something. I don't know what it is. Then the guy was right behind me, and it was as if I was in between the devil and the Red Sea, right? The house I'm running to, I don't know whether it's a ritualist that is there, and an obvious kidnapper is right behind me, running after me, and I was running. I was so scared, brothers and sisters. And when I started screaming my mommy's name and started shouting, I think the guy went back. And then I hid in the bush and I was there crying, crying and crying and praying, crying and praying. Like, because when I got to the mud house, I couldn't find the gate. I couldn't find the entrance to the house. And all around the house is bush. Bush is everywhere. I couldn't find anywhere to take coverage. It was a scary moment of my life. And then I entered the bush. I stood there and I was crying and crying and crying. And then when I eventually got hold of myself, I was like, okay, I cannot come out. Let me come out now. So I'll continue this story in the next post I'm going to make. Please click on the subscribe button, turn on the notification so that you can get notified whenever I post a new video. Also share the link to your friends, your colleagues, your loved ones. See you in the next episode. Bye.